Yeah, y'all know what it is. You know who it is, man. It's your boy Pharaoh the God, always on the motherfucking job. I got five to talk, real talk. Um, I was just watching, the Danza Project with uh with Orlando Brown and Charleston White. I mean, it's one thing Charleston White said on there that was very, very concerning. Every time Orlando Brown got to acting up, Charleston White would be like, Hollywood got this boy fucked up, and then Danza, the main person on the Danza Project says that he caught Orlando Brown smoking meth in his bathroom, and he asked him why. Then he asked him, he said, "Is that to cover up? Is that to mask the pain?" People gotta realize, man, it's a lot that come with that, and I don't feel like they was there to help him out. I don't, and I'm gonna explain why. But before I do that, it's that time again to tell a friend to tell a friend to tell another motherfucking friend. Share, like, and subscribe to this. Don't miss out on this. Um, we know that from prior uh prior interviews, the things that Orlando Brown is capable of saying, the controversy he is capable of stirring up. And at first it was like, damn, dude, this boy, like, bro might be telling some little truth that, like, you feel what I'm saying? But then it started to, like, unfold as like a character, like in a sitcom. And then the more I was looking at the Danza Project in this interview, it was like, man, like, y'all allowing him to elaborate his character. Y'all allowing him to elaborate that character, but then you guys keep falling into it. And it's like, I don't get it. I don't get it because this is a person that needs help. You paying this dude $5,000 to do an interview for you, where you say you and him are trolling people, but in a way, it's like you trolling him. You trolling Orlando Brown, because what did he really say of substance on your podcast? And then you still put it out there. It ain't no substance on that whole podcast with Orlando Brown and Charleston White. It ain't none. Like, the whole interview was bullshit. And it's like, you becoming a culture vulture because it's just you clickbait. Just to have Orlando Brown on there and to ask that nigga some questions about certain things, it's like, damn, bro, who is gonna be the person to try to help this dude out? You catch him smoking meth, then you say he got a drinking problem. You see, he always tweaking off when he underneath substances. But don't nobody sit up there and say, hey, Orlando Brown needs help. Why not? It's because it's for clickbait. And Danza, you did the same thing that everybody else do. I mean, for you to sit up there and to actually put out that interview that don't got nothing to do with nothing. I mean, the nigga was inebriated the whole time. But what Charleston White said about it, it rings true, because Hollywood really pulled one over on him. For us to see all the shit that Orlando Brown went through, being high on meth, getting beat up, walking down the street with, bottles of beer, we have a problem. But I can't really blame Danza Project, that podcast, because at the end of the day, it comes down to you knowing the person. Does the person really want to be helped? How is this person gonna reciprocate the love, the appreciation, and the caring that I have for them? If they don't reciprocate it, why keep putting money in their hands to enable what they going through? I just find it weird that, you come out after you get the backlash of saying, oh yeah, me and Orlando Brown was trolling y'all. Wait till I show the other footage. Like, what footage? Behind the scenes, that was probably more important than the actual footage. He was drunk, not talking about nothing. He was even getting Charleston White mad. Why though? Why? Because somebody's sitting there only wanting people to click on this program because it has Orlando Brown and Charleston White on it. The whole interview was about clickbait. So for me to sit up there and say, oh, it was a great interview. Nah, I feel like the Danza Project pulled some culture vulture shit. Like, seriously. It ain't no, where was the positivity or the information from that podcast? Oh, wait. Oh, wait. I mean, what was it that we could take and we could say, Charleston White and, Orlando Brown, like, yeah, they really need, their own podcast. But that goes to show us that this nigga Orlando Brown is whacked. And people continuously help this man get inebriated. They help him keep getting fucked up just to put him on the podcast, to clickbait, clout chase, and to put numbers up for the person that's, okay, yeah, you paying them. But what is that going to help him? That nigga not talking about that. He can't even ask a serious question. But what's real about that whole little thing is that Orlando Brown went through some traumatizing upbringings in Hollywood. Nobody trying to get him psychological help. Nobody. They just know that once they put this nigga on their podcast, it's gonna go up. I don't give a fuck if you pay 5,000, 10,000, 2,000, 1,000. If you don't like change it up, get off the clickbait and shit though, man. Like, that's what's killing me. Like, everybody wanting clickbait and it's just about numbers instead of somebody holding some substance to the conversation, whether it's negative or positive. Where's the substance of the interview? Man, that shit was trash. Super trash. I mean, it's questions that you could have asked that, you know, what's really going on with him. But does anybody do that? Don't nobody care about that dude being whacked out. Don't nobody care about him being off his rocker. But then when he dies, it's gonna be like, oh, Orlando Brown, he did again. Oh, did. Man, say that shit. Y'all know that nigga need help and ain't nobody trying to help him. Yeah, I understand it takes a person that only want their help themselves. But if you don't help yourself, guess what's gonna happen? You're gonna deteriorate. You're gonna be gone. I would hate to see him deteriorate himself into that lifestyle. But the more money you give him in Hollywood, the more money you give somebody that's an addict or somebody that has a handicap, they gonna keep doing it. It ain't gonna be no different. It ain't gonna be, oh, they gonna take this money and go get help. Everybody that's been in Hollywood that had to seek some type of like substance abuse counseling. Somebody else had to put them in substance abuse counseling. Somebody else had to put them in rehab. Somebody else had to do that. You don't see nobody coming in talking about, oh yeah, let me get my mind right. Let me go to rehab. It's a lot of things you can't do on your own. You can't become famous on your own. You can't become, you can't get a viral moment on your own. So what you do? You go and pick on somebody that can get you clickbait, that can get you clout chase, that can get you views, comments, repostments. I mean, it's cool if you have some type of substance behind it, but that's just me. That's just me. I don't see the substance of people, you know, bringing somebody on a platform only to make a fool of themselves. So it's like at the end of the day, are you trying to make a fool out of Orlando Brown, which we already know to a certain extent he is? So I can't call it, man. You asking this man about, you feel me, Jaguar right? Who gives a fuck about what like Jaguar White got to say? Oh, she trying to use your algorithm. She trying to use what you do. So, and it's enough motherfuckers out here that want to hear that bullshit. So why not let her do her? Why not let her, nigga, you feel me, piggyback off what this nigga got going? It's that divide and conquer shit. It's that divide. It's enough money out here for everybody. But motherfuckers still playing that, you know, divide and conquer. And it's worse when, you feel me, I don't know if the nigga 100% black, if his mother was black, that's how he looked black, or his father is black. However it go, like, you feel me, for you to even, you know, set people up against each other. That's culture vulture shit. That's DJ Vlad shit. That's Adam 22 shit. And if that's the way the Danza Project is gonna go, I fucking just unsubscribe. I just fucking unsubscribe because, nigga, you sitting up there just like you. I mean, the interview with Benzino was more better than the interview with Orlando Brown, because Benzino said some shit that was really, 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 um, that was really pointable. White America, Benzino said, white America had to put Eminem into the category of rap. They had to publicize him. They had to amp him up. They had to have a machine behind him. They had to have a number one executive, a number one beat maker stamp this nigga. Before that, if Eminem was that nice, everybody would have been trying to sign that nigga. Eminem couldn't have been that nice. Eminem couldn't have been that big of a deal if niggas slept on him. If Eminem had that great of a arsenal, which he does, he wouldn't have been handpicked to go into the industry as the white rapper. It was millions of white rappers before him. Not millions, but it was a lot of white rappers before him. The Beastie Boys, Vanilla Ice, Weird Al Yankovic, Third Base. And this is during the times of real hip hop. During the times of real hip hop. They wasn't, yeah, they was the white rapper, but they wasn't promoted as the white rapper. That had more substance than the shit y'all was talking about the Danza Project with Orlando Brown. Even that nigga Charleston White didn't want to sit there and interact with that shit because he was being trolled. Orlando Brown was trolling Charleston White, calling him daddy, talking about him getting beat up. That was all trolling. But my thing is, I'm not gonna sit up here and waste my goddamn time for you to be trolling somebody else for me just to get some clicks. This shit don't make no motherfucking sense at all. Then you see the nigga getting fucked up off the. You see the nigga, you feel me? You see the nigga getting faked. You see the nigga getting whacked out his mouth. But do you take the bottle? Do you know what I'm saying? You can't search the nigga before you go to the bathroom, but you can stop him from having that bottle in his hand. Did y'all do that? But that's it's part of the deal. It's part of the deal.